Your energetic frequency is shifting, and no one gets to walk beside you unless they match it. Sagittarius has always loved freedom, but this month your freedom isn't external, it's freedom from old memories, old fears, and outdated connections. You may feel like you're losing a few relationships, familiar habits, or core beliefs that used to guide you, but this isn't loss, this is ascension. Welcome to June, Sagittarius, a time that doesn't just mark the middle of 2025, but perhaps the most pivotal internal shift you've experienced in years. You're not just stepping into mid-year, you're stepping into the very center of a deep soul cycle where old chapters quietly close and new portals quietly open. The universe doesn't shout, it doesn't knock, it simply reshapes the space around you. Your home, your heartbeat, and the way you see the people who once walked through your life. And when that happens, you'll know a karmic crossroads is appearing right before your eyes. June 2025 begins with a series of critical alignments. Jupiter, your ruling planet, forming a harmonious aspect with the North Node, while Mercury retrograde unintentionally reactivates memory layers you thought you had outgrown. This isn't a phase for pushing through anymore. It's a phase to choose, release what no longer fits, or stand still and remain behind. The North Node never repeats old cycles. It points toward the future, a cosmic compass that says, if you hesitate now, you might miss the next 12-year window. The universe isn't pressuring you to decide immediately, but the signs are getting clearer by the day. Strange dreams returning, repeated number sequences, old faces suddenly reappearing, and deep within you, a subtle unease, even though nothing looks wrong on the outside. This isn't chaos, it's the message. You're about to cross into a higher energetic tier, and you can't take your outdated baggage with you. The core energy of this month stems from a trine between the Moon and Jupiter, opening what we call a unicorn gate, a portal to limitless possibilities you once thought were just fantasy. This is the moment when the illogical begins to show up logically, when you revisit your relationships, career, or dreams, and suddenly realize it's not that you've changed, but that you've outgrown an expired shell. And then, the White Stag appears. In ancient karmic astrology, the White Stag symbolizes divine protection from celestial realms, granted specifically to souls who are passing through a destined transition. When this archetype activates, it means you, Sagittarius zone, are being held temporarily in a sanctuary zone, a space of spiritual insulation amidst external shifts. Not to escape, but to prepare for your return. In this zone, what seems paused is actually being reorganized. Ambiguous relationships fade away on their own, vague plans dissolve without force, and you begin to notice whatever stays was meant to stay. This discomfort isn't punishment, it's the turning point that allows you to step out of karmic repetition and into your true soul tier. At the same time, the North Node, the karmic direction point, is illuminating the inner region where you once stayed silent, once abandoned yourself, once settled for less with the wrong choice. Now, a second chance is reappearing, but it's not the same. There's no long runway, no flashing signs, only intuition and your willingness to listen to it. Someone who once left may return in a new role. A path you once dismissed may reappear in a completely different light. A dream you left unfinished may be quietly ready to come back. And you don't need to know how it all unfolds. You just need to stop holding on to what already ended. Jupiter in its current position no longer fuels recklessness or escapism. It's inviting you to pause, to choose wisely, and to release what can no longer walk beside your soul's new rhythm. Because this June you are not learning lessons, you are completing your final test before entering the space of cosmic rebirth, a total resurrection aligned with your soul's true destiny. This energetic layer is not one everyone reaches, but once you do, you'll realize true freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes when nothing outside you can bind you anymore. And that's why everything slipping away from your hands now isn't punishment, it's your release. Something is happening this June, Sagittarius, but not everyone can see it. When your energetic layer shifts, the universe doesn't always stir up noise. On the contrary, it often makes things feel slower, paused, even eerily quiet. But in that silence, the deepest transformations begin to stir. just like how the surface of the lake stills before a heavy rain. You might find yourself sleeping more or struggling to sleep, craving solitude, feeling detached from social media, no longer eager to prove anything to anyone. This isn't ordinary fatigue. This is your body going through an energetic recalibration, preparing you for a complete structural reset. And if you suddenly remember people who've passed, tear up at an old song, or feel the quiet presence of someone even when you're alone, don't be alarmed. That's because those in heavenly places, souls of loved ones, ancestors, or spiritual guides, are standing very close to you now. They're not here to take you away. They're here to remind you, you're not walking this journey alone. This month, the view from above archetype is activated, a higher vibrational realm observing and supporting your path. They don't interfere, but they see your full map. They know you're aligning piece by piece, strong enough to release what no longer fits, and light enough to enter what's meant for you. You don't need to ask anyone for direction, just sit in stillness, and the signs will reveal themselves. This is also when your healing zone activates. Your body starts healing, not just what you thought needed healing, but even what you forgot was wounded. Your heart begins reclaiming energetic fragments left behind in past connections. Your soul sends out a soft reboot signal across karmic circuits you couldn't access before. That's why you might wake up on certain mornings feeling like a different person, lighter or emptier. But emptiness isn't loss. It's sacred space being cleared. The quiet of June isn't emptiness. It's the container the universe has created for you to look inward, to disconnect from artificial noise and tune into the voice within. This isn't the time for rash action, major decisions, or jumping into new connections impulsively. This is the time to assess your internal frequency, to see if you're syncing with yourself or still chasing something that never matched you. You don't need to become someone else. You only need to return to yourself. And to do that, you need space. Space in your heart, your thoughts, and in the relationships around you. So if someone leaves, if something gets postponed, don't see it as a loss. It's a gift from the universe as you enter the sanctuary zone, a protected realm where your system quietly restructures. That's why everything this June moves slowly. You may get invitations, messages, even old opportunities resurfacing. But this time, it's different. You're no longer rushing. You don't feel the need to respond right away. You don't need to hold on just in case. Because you know, if it's truly meant for you, it will stay. If not, it will leave as softly as it came. This is the phase where your frequency is shifting without you saying a word. Those in alignment will arrive on their own. Those who no longer match will drift away. You don't need to push anyone away. You just need to remain silent and hold your own signal steady. And when you do, you'll begin to see the destined connections are drawing near. If it feels like a wave of love is getting closer, it's not your imagination. It's the result of you clearing out your energetic layer over the past 2 lunar cycles, especially since the new moon in an air sign opened the doorway between intuition and emotion. Your vibration has shifted, and what's moving toward you now is a direct consequence of you stepping out of your old frequency. No one truly new can arrive until you've become truly new within. From mid-June, alignments between Venus, Jupiter, and the Moon will sequentially activate deep soul-level relationships, commonly known as soulmate contracts. These are connections that were encoded long ago, but could only manifest when the frequency and timing align. And now, the timing is arriving. Whether you've never met or have already crossed paths in a vague, fleeting way, this person is getting closer by the day. If you've recently found yourself thinking about someone for no clear reason, or feel something calling you from a far-off place, that might be them. They don't need to text you. You don't even need to see them. Just the energetic signal between you two has already begun to collide again, like 2 satellites on the same network. Once you tune to the right channel, the connection happens naturally. In astrology, this is known as an emotional regression phase, a period when cosmic connections begin to reappear, but in upgraded forms. Someone who once left, if they still belong, may return. Someone who once passed by, if they were fated, will now become visible. And you, as a Sagittarius who has moved through the layers of transformation, no longer view love the same way. You're not looking for just a relationship, they're waiting for a frequency match. and that is coming closer. The full moon at the end of the month will mark an important moment, a conversation, an invitation, or simply a glance that makes you realize, this is the one. No long past needed, no guaranteed future, just a present that matches. And that clarity will be stronger than ever now that your signal is no longer distorted by old emotions. Don't be surprised if the person you feel drawn to during this time has strong water placements in their chart, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This is the season when water energy, the element of emotional depth, is powerfully activated to draw a Sagittarius back toward the instinct of the heart. You no longer need to fight your feelings, you just need to let them flow. Some of you may have sensed this earlier, with someone who once said hi and disappeared. They may be circling back, but this time it's different. They no longer carry the energy of control, but rather a gentle invitation. They're not coming to fill a void. They're showing up to build a new space with you, where both of you are free yet deeply connected. And for others, this could be someone entirely new. But when you meet them, it'll feel like you've known them from a past life. That's the energy of cosmic lovers, a bond that doesn't come from logic but from soul memory. They might appear through travel, a mutual friend, or a new opportunity at work. And you won't need to ask yourself, can I trust this? Because you'll just know. Astrology never forces anyone to believe in fate, but it always whispers, if you're awake enough, you'll recognize it. And this June, with air and water cycles interwoven, is the perfect moment for fated connections to re-emerge and grow stronger than ever. It's not just about love. This June also brings a fresh wave of momentum in money, finances, and expansive opportunities, specifically for Sagittarians who are ready to shift into a higher energetic state. It all begins with a favorable alignment between Jupiter and Uranus, two planetary forces that often signal money breakthroughs, unexpected but lasting financial uplift. And the key? This only unfolds after you've cleared out the noise from relationships, obligations, or work that no longer align with your current frequency. If you're in a phase of decluttering, letting go, or walking away from commitments that once felt familiar but now hold you back, congratulations. You're on the right path. Uranus doesn't reward safety. It only moves with those who are brave enough to release. And once you've made room, the cosmic egg starts to roll. In modern astrology, the cosmic egg represents a material rebirth phase where new opportunities are born directly out of the emptiness you've just surrendered to. It could be a new job, a creative project, an investment offer, or even unexpected financial support from a surprising source. But it only shows up when you stop clinging to the old source. Those working in creative, spiritual, educational, communication, or community support fields will feel this the most. Your frequency is now attracting a new kind of prosperity, no longer from doing more to get more, but from matching the right energy so support flows in. The more you live in your authentic self, the more the universe sends you financially compatible flows. At the same time, the appearance of the piggy bank symbol in this month's energy map shows that money isn't just coming in to be spent, it's arriving to help you build a foundation. A long-term plan may begin, a savings habit may finally form, and you, once the live for today type, are learning to stabilize without compromising your freedom. Interestingly, the moment you become honest about your financial needs, everything clicks into place. You're no longer embarrassed to say you need money. You no longer shy away from claiming the true value of your efforts. And that clear, calm energy becomes the key to unlocking more abundance than you've ever seen. The universe doesn't reward those who burn themselves out. It supports those who know when to pause. So if you feel like things are slowing down in your work life, or if there's an unusual gap between two projects, don't panic. That's not failure. That's the necessary space for a fresh energy investment, financial or otherwise, to flow into your field. Some of you may be considering a change of location, workplace, or general environment. This is a strong sign that a light shift is coming, perhaps a short trip, or a more permanent change involving where you live, work, or study. And with it comes an opportunity tied to money, resources, or professional collaboration. Most importantly, the energy of the North Node is now guiding you back to your karmic financial map, which means you're no longer earning just to survive. You're moving into the realm of earning to fulfill your mission. And once you enter that space, money is no longer a burden. It becomes a tool, one you'll learn to use with clarity, flexibility, and intention. And don't be surprised if you start feeling comfortable with having more money, because at this new energetic tier, it no longer feels hard to keep or easy to lose. It simply feels natural when you live right, work right, and let go right. You've probably heard the saying, the best time to begin is now. But in astrology, the more important moment is when your frequency is high enough to take full responsibility for your path. And for Sagittarius, June 2025 is that exact intersection, the point where you stop hiding, stop running, and stop playing a supporting role in your own story. Once you've passed through all 4 energetic layers, letting go, receiving divine protection, reconnecting in love, and unlocking abundance, you'll arrive at a space called the integration zone. This is not where you're asked to do something next. This is where you pause and finally see how much you've changed. And in that stillness, a door quietly opens. No noise, but absolute clarity. Between now and the end of September, when autumn officially begins, Sagittarius steps into full destiny alignment with the North Node. This is when you'll begin to witness what was once predicted quietly start to unfold. That person returns, that project initiates, that invitation arrives. It's all real, but only when you're truly ready. And ready doesn't mean you're no longer afraid. It means you no longer let fear make the decisions for you. You know what you need, you know who should stay and who should go, and even without guarantees, you walk toward the light anyway. Autumn 2025 marks a pivotal point for Sagittarius in Jupiter's 12-year cycle. This is the season where you might begin a deeply bonded relationship, shift your career, move to a new place, or launch a journey entirely aligned with your true energetic frequency. And once you step through this threshold, you won't be able to, nor want to, return to the older version of yourself. You don't need to know exactly where it's going. You just need to be quiet enough to realize you resonate with it so clearly that no questions are needed. That is the mark of the right choice, the right love, the right path. Not because it came with proof, but because your soul already knew. And if it all feels like it's arriving now without explanation, remember, you've been ready for a long time. Every disappointment, every surrender, every detour, every silent exit, every moment of confusion, none of it was wasted. They were the exact steps you had to take to return to where you truly belong, with a version of you strong enough, deep enough, and bright enough to hold what you've always deserved. Don't worry if no one seems to understand you right now. You're a few steps ahead. You're living at a frequency only those attuned can recognize. And they, though not here just yet, are already making their way to you. The universe never lets two souls meant to find each other stay lost forever. So if this June you feel yourself quietly entering a new chapter, no fanfare, no declarations, no need to prove anything, that's a good sign. You don't need an audience, because the universe has already taken note. Keep living in truth and releasing with grace. Let anything that no longer aligns fall away on its own. Don't mourn what no longer reflects your soul's lair. The lighter you are, the farther you'll fly. The clearer you are, the more you attract what's true. The more honest you are, the more everything that's meant for you arrives. This isn't an ordinary phase. This is the beginning of a fated 12-year cycle. You might lose a few things, a few people, a few outdated opportunities, but you'll regain yourself. A new version, a love that matches your frequency, a life that doesn't require you to fight for belonging because it is yours. If you feel like you're in this phase, leave a comment below. Even just a sentence, an emoji, or a passing thought could be the sign someone else needed to see. Because at this energetic level, we no longer walk alone. And if you'd like to keep journeying through the moon cycles and destined shifts ahead for Sagittarius, don't forget to hit subscribe. There's so much more to come, and I'll be right here sharing each chapter with you, step by step.